Today on Running to Him.
It is God who helps us recover from loss and disappointment. Today's reading from the reading plan is Genesis 41, verses 38 through 52, and we'll be concentrating on verses 50 and 52. Genesis 41, 50 through 52 says, Now before the year of famine came, 2 sons were born to Joseph, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potiphera, the priest of On, bore him. And Joseph named the firstborn Manasseh, for he said, God has made me forget all my trouble and my father's household. He named the second Ephraim, for he said, God made me fruitful in the land of my affliction. Anyone who involuntarily moves from one place to another has experienced a loneliness which at times can be almost overwhelming. Even if you choose to move to someplace new, it can seem hard to be away from friends and family. Toni and I are currently going through a similar experience. We lived in Garland, Texas, or the surrounding area, for about 40 years. We are now moving to the College Station area, and even though 2 of our 4 children live in the same region, there's a sense of loss in our lives. I think the most challenging part of moving is finding a new church home. Joseph was taken from his land and subject to a harsh life during his early 20s. Verse 46 of our reading today states that Joseph was 30 years old when he interpreted Pharaoh's dream, and sometime later he had 2 sons. He named those sons Manasseh, meaning God has made me forget all my trouble and all my family, and Ephraim, meaning God has made me fruitful in the land of my affliction. There are 2 things I'd like to bring to our attention. First, God made Joseph forget what happened in the past. What that means is that his past is not the preeminent thing in his life. He had not forgotten his father and his brothers. He placed those experiences behind him. In our lives, we try to sometimes exist in the past rather than experience the present. When my twin brother and I moved from Connecticut to Tucson, Arizona, we lived at a boarding school for a few months. For some reason, our parents gave us a radio. And one day I turned on the radio and heard a call sign of WABC in New York City. I remember calling out in joy to my twin brother, "Listen, Gilkey, it's home." And for several days afterwards, I struggled with homesickness because I was living in the past. Joseph lived through both good and bad experiences with his family, but God had given him a new family, and this family filled him with joy and helped him get over the pain of his history. God will do the same for us when we lose something important in our lives. In 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 3 through 7, Paul writes about God's comfort and the comfort we are to exercise with others in times of grief. Now, the word translated comfort means to walk alongside. God walks with us through the pain to show us what we are to do with others when they are in pain. This action of walking beside someone helps us through our struggles as well. Secondly, God is faithful in his blessings. While it is difficult to imagine while we are struggling through a circumstance, God blesses us throughout and even after our struggle. When the Army sent me to Germany, I had a feeling, as did my grandmother, that I would never see her alive again. She died 2 years into my tour. Recently, while packing for the move to College Station, I discovered some cassette tapes she and my mother had sent me while I was overseas. I was blessed by seeing those tapes that they still existed, and will be even more blessed when I get to listen to them and share them with my family after we unpack. We too are blessed by God, as Joseph was blessed, both during and after his stressful events.
Thank you for listening. We pray that today's devotion was meaningful to you. We would love to hear from you. You can use either Facebook or YouTube to like, subscribe, share, and tell others about us. If you would like to contact us, you can reach me at phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.